Hello, good morning to all, and welcome to this current module, Decoding Pattern. So in this module we have history of architecture, and in this subject today we will discuss about the Buddhist architecture. So today here I am Kusum Chaudhary, Assistant Professor in School of Architecture, Galgotias University. So let's start with your today lecture. So in this slide, here are given few prerequisite. First one is background and influences on Renaissance architecture and characteristics of Renaissance architecture in general, history of Indian vernacular architecture and documentaries, etc. And contribution of society, social structure and cultural on the development of vernacular architecture, high-rise and low-rise structures, design approach with social perspective. So these were a few prerequisites which have already covered in previous module. Now here are given few content regarding this lecture. First one have introduction. Next is beginning of Buddhist architecture in India, early Buddhist architecture, features of Buddhist architecture, stupas, chaityas and viharas. And at the end of the lecture we have few questions and references. So these are the content of this lecture. So let's start with the introduction of Buddhism. Uh, Basically, Buddhism is a religion which began in the regions that are now India and Nepal over 2500 years ago. Buddhism is a belief system that is viewed by some as a religion and other as a philosophy. It centers on the teaching of Siddhartha Gautam, also known as Buddha, who lived and taught in the 500 BCE. The focus of Buddhism is enlightenment. In order to obtain this enlightenment, a person must live a life of moderation, accept that life is change, and lead an unselfish life. Buddhism can be practiced anywhere, not just at a temple or stupa. The early structures that were built during the empire were permanent in nature and long-lasting. Non-structural or rock cut means that they were carved out of mountain, cliff or huge rock. So here you can see this diagram, types of structure in ancient India. There are given two types of structural system and non-structural, which is known as the rock cut also. Building the structure block by block, that is called the structural system. In this type of structure, Jain and Hindu structures are example. Non-structural rock cut, basically these are based on the caves carved out of living rock. Buddhist, Jain and Hindu structures are the example of the rock cut structure. With further this divided into two parts, with internal spaces and without internal spaces. With internal spaces, chaityas, viharas, caves for monk and Hindu god worship, like caves at Ajanta and Ellora. And without internal spaces, it divided into small temple structures like 7 pagodas at Mammalapuram. So these are the types of structure in ancient India. Now, the Buddhist architecture began with the development of various symbols representing aspects of the Buddha's life. The period of this era, 560 BC to 480 BCE. So here you can see these two examples. This one is the Sanchi Stupa and second one is the Sun Temple, Konark. So these were the some Buddhist architecture example. Indian Emperor Ashoka not only established Buddhism as the state religion of his large Magad empire, but also opted for the architectural monuments to spread Buddhism in different places. The major feature of this style are, first one is stupa, stamba, chaitya and viharas. So these were the some major feature of the Buddhism architecture. Now, in this slide, we will discuss about the beginning of Buddhist architecture in India. Basically, Buddhist religion architecture developed in Indian subcontinent in the 3rd century BCE. There are three types of structure which are associated with the religious architecture of early Buddhism, which is monasteries, that is known as the viharas, places to venerate relics, which is known as the stupas, and shrines or prayer halls. These are called the Chaitya hall also, Chaitya Graha, which later came to be called temple in some places. So this religion initially did not involve making of figures or idol, but gradually the followers started making sculpture representation of Buddha. There are two phases of Buddhism, that is called the Theravada also, and these were two phases is the Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana period was 2nd century BC to 2nd century AD, and Mahayana 3rd century AD to 7th century. One of the difference is that Mahayana Buddhists believe that the Buddha, which is Siddhartha Gautama, is a god, but Hinayana Buddhists believe that the Buddha was an ordinary human. So basically, these were the difference between the Hinayana and the Mahayana Buddhist. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, basically Buddhist divided into two parts, Hinayana and the Mahayana. Basically, Hinayana, they believe Siddhartha Gautama is God, but Mahayana, they believe he is a ordinary man. So Buddha was represented by religious symbol like Dharma Chakra, Chhatri, footprints, which is idols were originally not used, and Mahayana Buddha was represented by sculpture carved out in various sizes, depicted various postures like standing, sitting, laying, etc. So Buddhist architecture divided into four parts. Already I have mentioned about it: monolithic pillars, stupa, chaityas, and viharas. So here you can see the example of early Buddhist architecture. The basic plan survived on this day in Buddhist temple throughout the world. That is inspired from the Buddhist architecture. The profile became elaborated and the characteristics mountain shape seen today in many Hindu temples was used in early Buddhist sites and continue in similar fashion in some cultures. In other, such as Japan and Thailand, local influences and differing religious practices led to different architecture. So here you can see the example of the early Buddhist architecture. Basically, this is an temple during the Gupta period time, and it's Sachi besides the Apicedal Hall with Maurya foundation. As the function of the monastery temple expanded, the plan form started to diverge from the Brahminist tradition and became more elaborate, providing sleeping, eating, and study accommodation. A characteristic new development at a religious site was the stupa. Stupas were originally more sculptured than building, and one of the earliest Buddhist sites still in existence is at Sachi, which is in India, and this is the center on a stupa said to have been built by King Ashoka. The original simple structure is encased in later, more decorative one, and over 2 centuries the whole site was elaborated upon. There were four cardinal points are marked by elaborate stone gateways. As with Buddhist art, architecture followed the spread of Buddhism throughout the Asia and East Asia, and it was the early Indian model that served as a first reference point, even though Buddhism virtually disappeared from India itself in the 10th century. Early temples were often timber and little trace remain, although stone was increasingly used. Cave temples such as those at Ajanta have survived better and preserved the platform, porch and interior arrangement from this early period. So here you can see the two examples of the early Buddhist temple, the Borobudur temple at Indonesia and Buddhist temple during the Gupta period. Now we will discuss about the evolution of Buddhist architecture. Here you can see clearly in this images the evolution of the Buddhist architecture at different period in different era. First one is early Indian stupa, which is from the 3rd century to early 1st century BCE. This is the first and early Indian stupa example. Second, we have the later Indian stupa. The period was 2nd century AD, and the next is the Chinese pagoda, 5th to 7th centuries, and the last one is the Japanese pagoda, which comes in the 7th century. So these were the some stages of the evolution of Buddhist architecture, as you clearly see in in these images. So now we have Buddhist temple. A Buddhist temple or Buddhist monastery is the place of worship for Buddhists. The follower of Buddhism, they include the structures called vihara, chaityas, stupa, wat, and pagodas in different regions and languages. Temples in Buddhism represents the pure land and pure environment of a Buddha. Traditional Buddhist temples are designed to inspire inner and outer peace. So, in this image, you can see the example of the Maya Devi temple at Lumbini, Nepal, was the birthplace of the Buddha. In the second image, you can see the example of the Mahabodhi temple complex at the Bodh Gaya, Bihar, India, was the birthplace of Buddha enlightenment. And the third one is example of the Brahma Vihara Arma temple at Bali, Indonesia, was the Buddhist temple with traditional Balinese influences. So these are the some example of the Buddhist temple. Now we have some other examples of Buddhist temple. Its architecture and structure varies from region to region. Usually the temple consists not only of its buildings but also the surrounding environment. The Buddhist temple are designed to symbolize five elements. First one is fire, air, earth, water, and wisdom. So in these two images, you can see the example of Buddhist temple. First one is the example of ancient Buddhist monastery near Dhamek Stupa monument site at Sarnath, Uttar Pradesh, India's were India where Buddha delivered his first teaching. So this was the place. Now second example is the Parinirvana temple with the Parinirvana stupa at Kushinagar, India, where Buddha attained Parinirvana after his death. So these were the some other examples of Buddhist temple. Now we have Parasat Angkor Wat. Basically, this is a Buddhist temple complex in Cambodia, and the largest religious monument in microbial biofilms have been founded degrading sandstone at Angkor Wat, Priha Kahan and the Bayon and the West Parasat in Angkor. Basically, architecture style was the Khmer Angkor Wat style, founded in 12th century. Location is Siem Reap, Cambodia, and designed in 1992. So this is an example and a view of the Angkor Wat. So now at the end of this lecture, we have few questions for assignment. First one is, what are difference between stupa and temple? what are features of early Buddhist temples. So you have to explain all these questions by the help of the suitable sketches. And the third question is the explain the evolution of Buddhist architecture during the period. Support your answer with suitable sketches. So you have to answer all these questions. So in this slide here are given few references related to this lecture. So you can use these references for more detail about the Buddhism architecture. So at the end of this lecture, I would like to thanks everyone for listening and watching this video lecture.